Good afternoon, everyone. It's me again, Al Brown Spencer. I am in San Sebastian still, and today is Wednesday, the 1st of October, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Uh, I went with my sign today to ask people for help as usual, and today people helped me with about €2.50 or €2.70, something like that. And that was enough for me to buy some oil and some breakfast beside the fish that I have that I caught yesterday, and bread and a drink. And yeah, I will go later and ask people to help me to get some bottles of gas, which I can use to cook the food and so on. I'm still in my van. As you can see, this is the bed where I sleep. As you can see, this is exactly where I sleep, just here. No space whatsoever. On the top, I have stuff, and everywhere stuff, and it's not clean at all because of the situation and so on. I haven't had a shower for 4 months since last time I was in France, and I used one of the centers there to have a shower and to eat a meal. And yeah, since then, I haven't had a shower. And here in San Sebastian, I cannot use any organizations or any places like this because they are full of Arabs and Muslims and North Africans and Middle Easterns, even from the country where I was born. And this is for me a big, 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 big jeopardy and a big no to be anywhere near these people and so on. Especially that I hate the language. I don't like to hear it whatsoever. And yeah, I know for sure that I don't want to have any relationship with Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, or Middle Easterns in any form, way, or shape until the last second of my life. And that includes, of course, hopefully when I get my compensations and so on and money, and I start businesses and so on, I will make sure that no one of these countries or this and that works for me, even from far away. Even if I don't have to talk to them or have any relationship with them at work, like talking or ordering or whatever. I don't trust these people, and I would never want them to be anywhere near me or anything that I have, or businesses or this and that. I am so worried about my daughters and my siblings and their kids in the country where I was born. So my daughters, they live in England with their mom, and I was deprived from them, and I haven't seen them since 2016. That was the last time I saw them, and I have photo of them last time I saw them, and so on. And I'm so worried about them, and I'm worried about my siblings and their kids who live in the country where I was born. And I would like to assure to you that if anything bad happened to any one of my daughters or my siblings or their kids, it wasn't a coincidence. Anything that would have happened to any one of my daughters or my siblings or their kids was not a coincidence. And anyone or any governments or any politicians involved or responsible for anything that would have done or would have happened to my daughters or my siblings and their kids will be responsible, and the least they would, or the least I would want them to be punished with, would be imprisonment for life. And this is not negotiable. It is the same like with what was done to me. The people who got involved and planned and did this to me, I will always claim that these people must go to prison for life. These people do not deserve to live with people and so on. And because I don't believe in God, and I know for sure there is no God to ask vengeance or, to help me to get vengeance and justice and so on. And I know for sure that authorities, they work in a certain way and so on, and they know nothing about justice. And I'm saying so because of my situation till the moment, and I haven't received any justice whatsoever. And for this reason, I am saying that I wish from the bottom of my heart and my mind that everyone involved in what was done to me and their governments to literally suffer great loss in terms of, I don't know, I don't want people to misunderstand or jump to conclusion. And you can see in the beginning of this video my or this video separate. I don't know if I'm gonna upload it separate or together. You will see that when I went to sleep and I said, that they suffer loss in terms of buildings like towers, bridges, and so on. Things that, will be a great loss, but without life loss and so on. And I don't want anyone to misunderstand or jump to conclusion and so on, because I know my abusers and my enemies, they always use everything I say or do against me, and they interpret it to whatever, would work against me and so on. I mean, for example, I don't know. I know some people would not agree with me. And to be honest with you, I don't like to see people getting hurt, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. But because of the brutality of what was done to me and my life that is passing me by, and I know for sure my abusers are still, abusing me till the moment, and they are still controlling my life and interfering in my life and so on. And there is no sign that they will give me justice. And for this reason, I am wishing from the bottom of my heart and my mind that their governments and their countries suffer great loss. I don't know, an earthquake, I don't know, a wave of frost, I don't know, a tsunami, whatever. The way that it destroys their infrastructure completely, 100%, 100 times more than the compensations, or my compensations and my money and so on, that they are refusing to give me, and my freedom, of course, and so on. This is from my frustration because I'm just one simple man, and they have all the authorities and so on. And they have done to me unbelievable stuff. Even the bastards in the country where I was born claiming to be relatives and so on. And some of them are relatives that they recruited and so on. Or they were before and they recruited other people. It's complicated, but I'm going to give all the information and so on. Even these bastards, all what they are working around trying to prove is that the drugs are working. That the drugs they have been giving me indirectly without my consent and against my will in the food and drink I buy from the shop is something that drugs that are, working. It's making different to the way I'm thinking or what I believe and so on. And of course, all of this bullshit. I mean, these fucking cunts are just using, these drugs in times and, situations, social situations, or, with other people to prove that my reactions are different or whatever and so on. As I tried to explain, these bastards are calculating everything. All what they are trying to do, even till the moment, trying to prove that the drugs they have been, dosing me with, is good or, making difference, blah, 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 and all of this bullshit. I still believe 100% in every word I said before about the organization in the country where I was born that based on the ancient cult, and they are using magic to control the world. And I'm going to give all the information about these bastards and this organization. And people who might jump to conclusion regarding the organization and their governments. Okay. Let me clarify this. Their governments are responsible 100% for everything they do. So whether they are manipulated by this organization or others or whatever, they are responsible 100% for everything they do. Any misconduct of any way, in any way, form, or shape, that being done or committed by any member of any authority, the whole authority is responsible and ashamed for this act, and they must pay the price as well. And so on as well. I mean, apply this on this organization and so on. And for me, I want justice. I want 100% justice. And when I say 100% justice, I mean everything: financially, legally, morally, everything. So everyone participated in what was done to me, regardless of what was their motives or what they were thinking of, and so on. They must be punished accordingly, according to how they participated, what's the extent of the damage they caused, and all of this, and what they did. It's complicated, but everyone must be punished accordingly. And of course, my compensations. And when I say my compensations, just to make it clear to everyone watching this video, and this is not going to change whatsoever. I know that governments like in the UK or the country where I was born, and other governments, okay, let him talk. Okay, he's gonna just accept everything that we're giving him to change his life from the shithole or the shit circumstances he's in, blah, 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 and all of this bullshit. Yes, I am in very difficult situation. I have no money and my circumstances are so bad, and I'm in desperate need of money to restart my life and so on. But I need justice, and I need my compensations regarding what was done to me. Just to give you an idea, one thing that was done to me in the UK when they put me in prison based on bullshit, just one thing. If any one of these fucking cunts politicians give details and give evidence for this just one thing from hundreds of things they did to me, I am 100% sure I will get at least couple of £1,000,000 at least for just one thing. So when I say that I am claiming £21 million for everything that was done to me, and this is in the UK, I'm talking about being what was done to me in the UK. I am not crazy, I'm not making this up, I am not exaggerating, and so on. And not only this, I mean, this is just the financial compensation. Add on top of this, the publicity and the punishment for the government. As I tried to explain, if one member of the government misconducts or does something bad, the whole government is responsible, and they must be punished, and they must be named and shamed. And of course, publicity in everywhere in the world. Everyone in the world must know what was done to me in the UK, and the justice when it's applied, and what I received, and what's done, and all of this, and everything that was done in the UK. Besides, I reserve the right to give all the information I have about the government of the country where I was born, what they have done to me and other people. In the UK, what they allowed, of course, not just what they allowed to be done to me, but other people, and other countries, and so on. Everything, look, everything I know, I will give it to the public in the whole world. And they can decide whether to believe or not, whether, to accept what I'm saying and believe in it as a fact, or put doubts, or discuss it, or debate it, or whatever. And I am 100% ready and willing to give the information, and even discuss with them what this based on. If people want to know if this information, I'm just saying it like this, or it was passed to me, or I discovered it, or whatever, I'm going to give all the details about everything I know, and so on. And if anyone who's watching this asking themselves, is this guy suicidal? Is this guy trying to, doesn't this guy fear or worried about his life and so on? No, the answer is no. And this is not an indirect suicidal, because, in other words, I don't want anyone to kill me. I mean, this is something, if you doubt this, then something wrong with you, not me. I don't want anyone to harm me, but I'm not afraid of even getting killed. I'm not afraid. The reason I'm saying so, because these bastards did to me unbelievable stuff, that they killed everything good in my life, even my years. They are systematically wasting my years to deprive me from even my simplest right of anyone, even the simplest right of anyone to have a family, to start a family. Yes, I have 2 daughters. They live in the UK with their mom, but I was deprived from them when they were young. They were like very young, and The people who did this to me must be punished and go to prison 100%. If you deprive someone from their kids or kids from their father deliberately, whether it's a mistake or based on bullshit or deliberately or whatever, you must be punished. You must go to prison for a long, 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 long time, if not for life. It's like killing. It's the same. I mean, depriving someone from their kids or depriving kids from their parents is the same like killing, because you deprive them from someone they love so much, and life without them is not the same. And yeah. So anyway, this is one thing that everyone should understand and know, that I am not trying to get killed indirectly or whatever. I am not afraid, and I'm gonna give all the information I have about everyone and everything. Doesn't matter the country where I was born, England, Germany, it doesn't matter. Every piece of information I have, even if it's not logical to some people, even if it's not believable to some people and so on, I am going to give all the information I have. And whether they give me my compensations or not, whether they give me justice or not, I am going to give the information, and this is end of story. I'm going to give it to everyone in the world. And I'm going to assure to people that this is 100% reality. It's not a novel. It's not a made-up story. It's not another Hollywood movie. This is a reality. This is a reality that they are trying to hide from people. They are blinding people from the reality. So yeah. So anyway, so my compensations for what was done to me in the UK on its own, as I said, 21 million pounds sterling, and every year it's going to increase. I have no power to support or to, you know, literally emphasize on this and force them to give me this money and so on. But I will do my best as much as I can to get justice, my freedom, and to expose them everywhere, and to give the information to everyone in the world. And this is not a slagging off. As I tried to say many times before, England was more of home than the country where I was born. But that doesn't mean that I will not say what I know about the UK and only say about the country where I was born. And it's the same applying on Germany and so on. Although Germany is home after the UK. And this is another point that I'm trying to make clear. So people don't think that I am playing with parties, or I am trying to get the best of whoever, blah, 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 and all of this bullshit that politicians and the sly cunts, claim or implies, and all of this. This is 100%, and this is not going to change what I'm going to say now. So if anyone interested to know this, or it's important for anyone, please don't make another mistake by disbelieving what I'm saying or jumping to conclusion or doubting it. And please believe what I'm saying, because I mean what I say and I say what I mean, regardless of sometimes, because I'm a human being, sometimes the circumstances force me to not to do what I am saying I'm going to do or whatever, because of the lack of abilities, the lack of money, this and that. So anyway, if England or the United Kingdom gives me 100% justice, my conditions, not their conditions, I will be more than happy to go back to the UK and live in Bournemouth. Bournemouth is home, and buy the land in nearby. There are lots of nearby towns where there are lots of lovely green lands. I can buy big land and start my farming and agriculture dream and family and so on, and live happily, because 100% justice means my freedom as well, and the peace of mind for the future, for everything, not just the money. That I am worried that, whatever I will be given, they can try to take it or take from it later. They have been already trying to do or to take lots of money from investments for my father, this is another case and another episode for those who want to know what was done to my father and what is about this money and so on, which I will give all this information. And regarding this, I don't want to be like taking this video to another conversation about another topic, which is, it's not another topic, it's one of the essential parts of justice I'm looking for. But just to let you know, I have never given anyone any consent to invest any money I own, or any money that, or any inheritance, or any money I own, or any any properties or whatever, whether in the country where I was born, England, Germany, France, Spain, or any country, and so on. And any investments where they are using money that was supposed to be given to my father, and they deprived him from this money. And I'm going to explain in another episode how they deprived my father from this money that he was supposed to be given. And literally what they are doing, they gave themselves the green light to invest this money even further, but making loss. So they are trying, in other words, they are trying to take money from this. With papers and so on, with investments and things that they do here and there, without, of course, any consent of the rightful owners of this money and investment. But anyway, my compensations and my freedom and all of this, it's very important. So the peace of mind. And of course, if the UK gives me 100% justice, freedom, and so on, I would be more than happy to go back and live in Bournemouth, start the businesses that I wanted, all the dreams I dreamt, everything, every project and every dream that I dreamt of, I will achieve. Even here in Spain, like my dream to start the ferry and the charter airplanes for taking people from Castellón port and airport, or the airport and so on, and going to the islands, Ibiza, Mallorca and Menorca and so on. I would be doing this as well, and make my dream true. The hotels, the restaurants, every idea and every project I thought of and put my heart in it, and they destroyed it for me, or made it look like it's just a fantasy and changed to another thing. Like now they are trying, these bastards they are trying to make it look like that me saying about farming and that I'm a farmer is just a fantasy, and it's gonna go. The guy loves the sea, and he spends all his time in the sea and loves the water, and so of course, man, I love the water, and I would spend in the water as long as I can. I mean, as many hours as I can, whether spear fishing, whether fishing, whether diving. Although fishing, on the shore is not for me, but diving, snorkeling, spear fishing, boating, and so on. I love the water so much, and so is the air, skydiving, planes, flying, and so on. But I'm a farmer. This is my main, thing. I am a farmer. And the first thing I will be doing when I get my compensations, hopefully as soon as possible, and my money and so on, I would be, as I said, buying a big land wherever I'm going to live, and a big house, and start my farming business, and a big family, and practicing my hobbies. So I will always find time all year round to use boats, or, spear fishing, or fishing in the sea, in the depth of the sea, or and so on. And the same with the flying, or skydiving, or hang gliding, and other stuff, and the same with hunting, and so on. So my hobbies are something, and business wise, and my passion towards what I want to do in life, in terms of work, and in terms of investment, is another thing. And I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer until the last second of my life. Nothing is going to change this. My love towards the water and spearfishing and the sea and so on has got nothing to do with my profession as a farmer, and with my passion towards producing for the people, crops, food, meat and eggs and all of this at very low price, with making profits as well. This is my dream. This is my goal. I'm a farmer. Nothing is going to change this whatsoever. So it doesn't matter where I will be living. my dream is still the same, and I'm going to be doing every project I thought about that these bastards killed, or these bastards made it look like that it was a fantasy and I left and so on, to try to chase something else, blah blah blah. I'm going to do this, this project and so on. So yeah, as for the UK, as I tried to explain, if the UK decides to give me 100% justice, and I'm saying 100%, I am more than happy to go back and live in the UK and start my dreams and so on. Another part of my dream that no one or lots of people disapprove, or think this is extreme or this doesn't happen or whatever, I want to clarify it as well and made it clear. I want to have a big family and make my own babies. I don't want to take on other people's babies. I love all babies. I love kids in general. I'm very kind to them, and I believe kids and babies, they are the future. They are the most beautiful thing we make in this world, and they are our extension. And without them, we have no future as human beings. But I am not willing on taking someone else's kids to be mine, or look after them, or be like their father or stepdad or whatever. For me, as I said, I am going to raise and bring up in my arms, in my house, only my own kids. As simple as that. Nothing is going to change this. Another thing, I am not willing to give a go with any under 24 years old, over 24 years old girl. So any girl who's over 24 years is not for me. I'm not interested, no matter how beautiful she is. If a girl is over 24 years old, I'm not interested. Yes, I'm much older. I mean, like, I'm even double the age. But this is my life, and this is what I want in my life, making big family. And this is what I like. Over 24 is not gonna, is not gonna fulfill my dreams of having or making lots of babies and so on. And not only this, I am not looking for just one girlfriend. I mean, one girlfriend for me is not enough. I am looking for starting a big family and having more than one girlfriend who will understand my desire to have big family, who will hopefully will fall in love with me, hopefully, after, living with me, if not before. And they will understand that, it's not bad and it's not a taboo, for more than one girl to share one man. One man who would love them and take care about them and treat them well and be there for them and respect them, and so on. And above all of this, I'm trying to make it clear to everyone. I mean, for me, I would appreciate 100% that these girls agreed to share one man, to fulfill his dream, and to raise big family, and so on. So yeah, this is another thing that I wanted to clear, and keep it aside from all of, keep it clear to people who might wondering, or think that I am, or I have been laughing or making a joke when I said, I want to make as much as 30 babies and have a big family and so on. No, I wasn't. I wasn't joking. That wasn't a joke. That is 100% my dream, and I will be trying my best to fulfill this dream, because a big family for me is like life, and so yeah. That is something that I wanted to clarify. And as I said, if the UK willing to give me 100% justice, I would be more than happy to go back and live in the UK. As if this is, some people told me that this is almost impossible, or almost certainly impossible. I understand. I have no high hopes on going back to live in the UK, or that I would get 100% justice from the UK and so on. And this is another thing that I would like to clarify. Once again, I'm clarifying lots of things in this video. If the UK decided to give me justice, but they don't give me 100% justice, I would not go back and live in the UK. As simple as that. If the United Kingdom agreed to give me justice, but they would give me incomplete justice, not my conditions, incomplete justice, or they would say it's justice from their point of view, which doesn't meet the justice I want, I will say thank you very much, and I will take the justice, but I will not go back to the UK or live in the UK. End of story. And of course, my campaign to expose my abusers and give the information has got nothing to do with getting justice or not. Whether I get justice or not, my campaign to expose my abusers and give the whole world all the details about my case and so on is something that nothing is going to change. The only thing that will change is my death. If I die, that's it. I wouldn't be here to fight, to make everyone aware of what I know and so on and what was done to me. So yeah, I clarified this and got it off the way and so on. The other thing, if the United Kingdom doesn't give me justice, if Germany gives me justice, I would be more than happy to go and live in Zirksdorf in Germany. Germany is another story. Germany is another situation, and I know lots of people wouldn't understand what I mean by this, but I'm only gonna put it on papers and explain to people who really want to know why Germany is another story. Why is it different, and so on. And it's all related to the country where I was born again and their organization and so on. But I'm gonna give all the details and so on. No holding back. I'm not gonna hold back. I mean, saying that I would be willing and happy to go back and live in Germany, for example, if they give me 100% justice. Again, it has got nothing to do with me giving all the details and the information I have about a country where I was born, the relationship with Germany and other countries, the World War, and every piece of information I have, I'm going to give it to the public. Whether they believe in it or not, doesn't matter. So I'm making this clear to any authorities out there that think that I'm just bargaining on money and then I'm going to shut up when they give me money and life is beautiful, take whatever they throw to me. And no, it's not going to be like this. I will never stop giving the details and the information I have to everyone in the world. Every piece of information I have and details will be given, whether I have evidence for it or not, whether people will believe it or not. People must know everything I know, and then it's up to them to decide to take it or leave it, or believe it or not. So yeah, that's as for Germany. And as I tried to explain, Germany is another case, another story. And for me, if the German government gives me 100% justice, I will go and live in Zirksdorf. And precisely, I will go and buy places like, Winterhagen, and the farm that I worked in. If the owner agrees to sell it for me, that would be great, because I love that place so much. I mean, I love the farm that I worked in Zirksdorf so much. And when I have if I get justice and I have all my money and so on, 2 places in Zirksdorf I would be buying. Definitely, in terms of farms, Winterhagen, and when I say Winterhagen, I mean all of it. I mean every bit of it. The land on the Baltic, the one behind Winterhagen, all of it, and of course, the land next to the place where they used my name to. It's another story. I will talk about this later, or in another video. So yeah, if the German government gives me 100% justice, that's what I would be doing. I would be going back to live in Zirksdorf for life. That's it, home. And I would, again, what I want to achieve and my dreams will be there. As I said, it doesn't make any difference where I will be living. As long as I'm getting justice, as long as I'm getting protection, my freedom, I will use my money, my freedom, my time to build the empire that I want to build in terms of farming and other businesses and so on, and big park and every idea I thought of. And these bastards from the country where I was born made it look like it's a fantasy and change it to another thing. Every idea, I will bring it to life and I will make it a reality. And people will see. And the most important thing for me in my dream, it's reducing the prices everywhere in the world. People, food and drinks, shelter, medical attention, and all of this stuff, this is essential for people. It should be free from government, or I'm free for people. If not free, then the prices should be 100%, low down. I don't know, like making profits, but not ripping off people, because the middleman or the middlemen or intermediate or whatever, they want to make money by buying from the farmer or the wholesaler or the farmer or whatever, and selling to a wholesaler, and from a wholesaler to another seller, to another seller, to another seller, until it reaches the consumer and the customer. And then it's like triple price or 4 times more expensive than they could have, paid for. Things like that I want to change in the world. I want, to make life easy for people. And making money as well, making money and making name and all of this. This is important, and increasing the quality of life using my business, like the park I'm gonna start, and all of these businesses, increasing in the quality of life, especially for the people who are not fortunate enough to have lots of money or whatever, or they are struggling or whatever. These people, they still can enjoy quality of life without struggling, without being, on the verge of, being kicked out of their places or. So these things need to be changed worldwide. And one of my goals is to do this using, my money, my investments and so on, by making money, but still making the prices go down completely, that people can afford. And there are lots of things that I want to change that I don't know if people, would agree on this. But for example, some ideas I have is to plant fruit and veg trees everywhere in the public, instead of the useless tree. Forgive me, not useless. The trees and the green in everywhere are useful because they produce oxygen, they consume CO2 and so on, and they give us very nice sight, green, which makes us feel happy and so on. But we can improve this even better by planting, instead of these trees that it's not fruitful, we can replace them with fruit and veg. So every season, these trees will be giving fruit that in the public, that the people can eat, enjoy for free fruit. And it doesn't need much work from the government. It's the same like the normal tree and what they do in terms of trimming the tree on the road, blah, 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 as they are doing exactly the same. And as for any extra fruit that fall down or whatever, so when people not consume it, they can actually use this extra that people didn't pick up or fell down and no one picked up and so on. They can use it to feed animals in farms and so on. So they collect it. And I'm sure that lots of farmers will be going in the street collecting these fruit and so on to give it to their animals and so on to eat. And it's free food for the animals. And even if it's not like this, you're not going to use it. People can use it on a small scale to produce natural gas like biogas, or big biogas plants. They can collect this and make biogas and so on. The possibilities are endless in terms of using this fruit after people had their share of picking up free fruit in the public and so on. And this is something that will make people happy. Imagine people who cannot afford going and buying fruit every day or every week in the shop because of this and that. they can just, their kids can just go out and pick up fruit, fresh fruit, and eat it, enjoy it. For them, this is going to be paradise, and it will have a very, very good impact on kids growing up in, in a country or in a town or a city where everything is available in terms of, everything nice. People are happy. There are lots of fruit around. They can pick up fruit and eat. Everything is fine. Everyone is comfortable and so on. And as I try to explain, I cannot change the world, but I can just do what I can and think of things that can make things better. But I cannot do everything on my own or alone. And again, I am in a situation where I need people's help because I'm used, abused, and tortured, and I'm trying to get justice. I'm just talking about the future, hopefully, when I get justice and so on, what I will be willing to do, what I would be trying to do to contribute to a better future for my future kids and their kids and your kids and their future and so on. Another thing that I would like to clarify, I do not want to have anything to do with authorities. I have had enough of authorities. I don't want to have anything to do with authorities. I'm not trying to have any authority or anything like that over anyone. I'm just a farmer, businessman in the future when I have my money and so on, and that's it. No, I don't want to have any relationship with authorities whatsoever, or to have any authorities of any kind on people and so on. Apart, of course, from my own stuff like my future company's business and so on. I'm the boss. I can say what is happening here, what's happening there, blah blah blah, and plan and all of this. But as in authorities like government, politicians, and so on, no, I don't want to have anything to do with politicians and so on. The other thing that I would like to clarify as well, a country like France, failing, for example, getting justice from England or Germany and so on, if France willing to give me 100% justice and help me to expose my abusers everywhere and give me my freedom and give me, my freedom and protection away from any Arabs or Muslims or North Africans or Middle Easterns in France, yes, I would be willing to go and live in France, no problem at all. I believe 100%, always said so, and I will always say so. The French language is the most beautiful language in the world. End of story. For me, this is what I believe in. Lots of people think otherwise about other languages and so on. I don't care. For me, I believe 100% the French language is the most beautiful language in the world. End of story. And the French culture as well is okay, is nice. And for me to live there, I would be feeling, home and so on. But as I tried to explain, if I get my freedom, protection, and not being forced to be anywhere near Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, Middle Easterns, and so on. That's really it. As for Spain, I am here in Spain and so on. Spain now is home. I mean, failing anything of that, Spain is home. Why wouldn't I take home or Spain home from the first instance? Like, rather than saying justice from England or Germany and so on. For many reasons, what I feel inside and my history inside me says otherwise. I mean, I lived almost 18 years in the UK, and I have two daughters, and I have lots of lovely memories with my daughters, and I have a very, very big connection with a place like Bournemouth, Wokingham in Berkshire, and so on. That's why, for me, it's number one, this is number one for me. Number two for me is Germany. Zirksdorf, to be precise. I lived in many places in Zirksdorf where it was so dear to me, like Zande, Stadland, and so on. But Zirksdorf has what no other place I lived in Germany can give. Like there is the Baltic, and there is Zirksdorf Beach, and how quiet and nice and beautiful Zirksdorf is. A picture that I can see that I have my farm, my businesses, big family in the future where I would be rest assured that my kids, happy and healthy and protected and so on. So yeah, for me, that's why, I mean, country like Germany, Zirksdorf is home in Germany. And if ever I would go back and live in Germany, Zirksdorf would be home. And as I said, my dream will be built there and so on. Uh, France, as I tried to explain, there are lots of lovely places in France that I would be happy to live in, and so on. And what is favored in terms of France and Germany and so on, as I said, I lived 2 years in Germany, and I was connected so much in the last year or whatever to Zirksdorf. That's why it's home. Uh, as for France, there are lots of cities there or towns that are nice, and I would live in happily. But as I said, for a minute ago, regarding the protection and not being forced to accept any of these Arab, Muslim, North Africans or Middle Easterns around me and be away from them as far as I can and so on, I would be happy to live there because I love the language so much and it's number one language for me and so on. As here in Spain, I don't have much of this history in Spain as much as these countries. I mean, for me, Europe is Germany, France, and Spain, those three countries. As for the UK is home. I wasn't born there, but it was home, more of home than the country where I was born. That's why I don't calculate or even mention the country where I was born or even think about it because it's not home. Spain, I haven't built this relationship yet. And if I stay in Spain another, I don't know, year or so, it might become number one home for me if I don't get justice from the UK or Germany or France or whatever. Then that's it. Spain, it would be number one for me. I haven't developed this feeling yet of home, like Zerkersdorf, for example, like Bournemouth, like Wokingham. Although here in San Sebastian, for example, the bay is so beautiful. Oh my word. Spain is so beautiful, and the bay here in San Sebastian is, oh my word, it's really, really beautiful. And the water is clear, and I can go swim, and the weather is nice, and so on. So probably if I don't get justice from, England, Germany, or Spain or France, that's it. That will be home, and it will be stronger. It will be much, much stronger because if I live here longer time to develop feeling like being home, there are lots of things here that not available in the other countries, like in England or France or Germany. And that will be even a stronger passion or stronger on me to, that's it, I'm settled here and so on. But until this happen, I have to feel home first here in my heart. And it's not the same like Zerksdorf. It's not the same like Bournemouth or Wokingham, and it's not even the same to like in some parts in France because the language barrier and other stuff and so on. But as I try to explain, for the moment and for the time being, beforehand, and that's it. I'm in Spain. I am home. I don't want to jump to conclusion. Yes, I am going to get 100% justice from the UK and go back and live in the UK home, or I'm going to get 100% justice from Germany and I will go back to Zerkersdorf and live home and blah blah and live in home, blah blah blah, and all of this, or France or whatever. For me, my present and the reality now that I am in San Sebastian in Spain, and this is home. And I'm fighting, this is my base now, and I'm fighting to get justice, and that's it. And the longer time I'm spending here, the more my heart and my mind is settling down. And probably if I stay another 2 years, for example, like I spent in Germany, and once I start to speak the language very well, probably that will settle me down here, heart and mind. And I'm making this clear to everyone. I don't want people to jump to conclusion and think that I am trading with where I want to live or who's going to give me more money or whatever. Justice is justice, regardless. And as I said, if Germany gives me incomplete justice, I'm not going back to Germany. If France gives me incomplete justice, I'm not going to go back to France, or I'm not going to go and live in France. If England doesn't give me 100% justice, I am not going back to England. And I'm here in Spain. End of story. And I'm going to carry on living here until I get justice. And I am 100% fighting to get justice. Every day I go, and that is not going to stop even when I get a job. And I will go and with my sign, but I'm going to start printing more paper, because once I have a job, once I have money, I will be capable of literally making better leaflet, making booklets with chapters about everything that was done to me and all of this in details in Spanish and other languages and so on, and give it to the public and so on. And maybe I will get connected to the media, whether newspapers, publish house, or TV or radio, and give them all the details I have and so on. My fight to get justice will never end until I get 100% justice. So this clarification to people, like if anyone in the UK government or the German government or France or whatever, they are trying, to give me justice. If it's incomplete, don't expect me to go back and live there, because that is not going to happen. Without 100% justice, there is no way I would go back and live in England or Germany or go and live in France. End of story. As here in Spain, as I said, yes, I still haven't developed this feeling of being home in my heart and my mind, but the longer time I'm spending here, the more I can speak the language, the more I'm getting used to the people and so on, the more my heart and mind are settling here and so on. Especially that the bay here is so beautiful in San Sebastian, 100%. I don't know what else to say. I mean, if someone playing the game, like someone, I know these politicians, bastards, and their tricks and so on. If they are playing the game of does he mean what he says, or did he mean what he says about here and there? I mean what I say what I mean. People who doubt me, people who try to test me, try to test what I'm saying, those are the people who end up losing me in terms of my attention or where I want to live and so on. I mean, when I was in Germany, I was more than happy to live in Zerksdorf, get my compensation, my freedom, justice, and stay there forever. And that's it. This is home, and settle down and so on. But again, the evil devils, bastards, politicians, I don't know from where, whether from the country where I was born, from here in Spain or France or England or Germany, I don't know. They played this game, or they wanted to know if my loyalty or what I said was true and blah, blah, blah. But this is too late now. Only 100% justice will be the only way that I would be happily willing to go and live, go back and live in England or Germany, or to go and live in France and so on. Any attempt of forcing me in any way, form, or shape to live somewhere I don't want to without 100% justice will end up in one thing. I said it many times. You don't have to be crazy to end your life. And I am not pretending to be crazy. I am not crazy or pretending to be crazy. You don't have to be crazy to end your life. But think about it this way. After all what you did to me, if you're trying to force me to live in a place against my will, you are sentencing me to death. As simple as that. And I'm not bluffing. I'm not making this up. You can tell from how I am speaking and how I'm putting these details and so on. So please try not to analyze every word I say. Try not to analyze it from the mental health or psychological side. It's not all mental health is bullshit, and I'm going to prove it to everyone. I am making this clear. 100%. If anyone dares to believe that they can force me to live in a place against my will, they would be, after all what I've been through, of course, they would be only sentencing me to death. As simple as that. Enough said, and I'm not going to say it again. Maybe some people there actually want this. That's why they're trying to put doubt about if I mean it or not. So if someone there in the country where I was born in, or any country like England and so on, trying to put doubt around what I say, that I'm not meaning it, he is, he's not crazy, he's pretending, he's not going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. And then next step to actually use force to force me to live in a place and so on. Trust me, I know you have power, and I know you have authorities, and I know you have authorities that can enable you to do something like that. But if you do something like that, I promise you, you would be sentencing me to death. As simple as that. And I'm not going to say this again. End of story. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to discover if I'm saying the truth or not? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to end my life in this way? So you are, what can I say? Your hands are free from my life or my blood and all of this? To say to people he was crazy or whatever? I mean, the possibilities are endless. But after all what you did to me and put me through, and you're still trying to analyze what I'm saying, disbelieving what I'm saying, putting doubts around what I'm saying, your only intention would be just to harm me, just to cause me indirect harm. As simple as that. To make it done by my hands. If you don't believe what I'm saying, if you doubt it or try to prove otherwise, you would be just playing a Russian roulette on my own life. As simple as that. So, anyway, I have said enough in this video, and I hope some people out there who are actually sane and reasonable and sensible enough to understand every word I said and to believe in it. This is more important. To believe in it, understanding it and believing it and taking it on board. And then the next step is only genuine people who actually want justice to be fulfilled. Those are the people who will actually do something to help me to get justice or give me justice. Apart from this would be just waste of my life, waste of my time. Because as I said everything, even about my personal life, what I want, and I'm not going to accept anything else. I mean, this is my life. This is what I want in my life. And when I have my money, when I have my compensations and my money and my freedom and so on, I can achieve my dreams without being forced to accept certain circumstances or certain this or certain that. No. I am not going to accept this. I have been through shit enough that I have the right to choose what I want in my life. And I need my money, my compensations, my freedom, protection for the future. I need every justice, basically. I need justice. I need a complete justice. As simple as that. Anyway, thank you very much for your time and thank you for watching. And hopefully you wouldn't jump to conclusion when you see my other video that I recorded last night before going to bed and so on. And I explained in this video what I meant. As for what I meant, yes, frustration pushes to more than this, to a fantasy world in your head, how to get vengeances and how to avenge for what was done to you and so on. And as I tried to explain, injustice is very bad. Very, very bad. Anyway, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Thank you.